It was a brand new year, and we came up with a crazy aggressive goal to grow our email subscribers. Now for us, the email marketing channel is the most important channel that we have in the entire company. To help achieve the goal, we decided we're gonna try something that we've never ever done before. We were gonna build an email referral program to rocket our email subscribers to the next level. Here's our story. We had been seeing declines in our email newsletter subscribers every month for quite a long time. In the beginning of 2020, we were getting anywhere between 18 to 27,000 email subscribers a month. By the end of 2020, the number of monthly email subscribers coming in had dropped almost by 50%. That is a massive decline. We knew something needed to change, and we needed a radical new idea. One of the first things we did was we started experimenting with split tests on our pop-ups. We would just change the button color, we would change the text a little bit. We saw slight incremental improvements. Then we explored getting into quizzes. Quizzes are when you answer a series of questions and then you put in your email address to get a result. And we realized that was going to be a lot of work, and we didn't have the manpower in-house to be able to pursue something like that as an experiment. At our annual company vision meeting, I decided to come up with a goal of 1 million email subscribers by the year 2024. There was nothing like having that vision and that aggressive goal to motivate me to change, because I knew there was no way we were going to get to 1 million email subscribers unless we came up with something completely different. In May of 2021, the news broke that The Hustle was acquired by HubSpot for many, many millions of dollars. And I wasn't familiar with The Hustle. So I went and I subscribed, and they emailed me after a few days of being a subscriber, and they said, hey, if you refer the newsletter to your friends, you could earn some free awesome goodies. And in my head, things started to click. I'm like, aha, I found the model. So I immediately began going on the hunt for a technical stack that could accomplish what The Hustle was doing. After quite a bit of searching, I found a company. I got on a video conference call with their co-founder, and I decided to sign a 1-year contract, and I spent thousands of dollars on this technology. One of the challenges we faced was that they did not support our email platform. So they had to build out the technical integration. Plus, we had to begin understanding how their tech stack worked, and that took us a little bit of time to get all that built out. The key to making this whole thing work was to have a really good offer for our email subscribers. We were advised by the co-founder of this company that that's the only way this is really going to work. So we put our heads together and we came up with a really great idea. We were going to survey all the staff inside the company, and we were going to put together a resource that included all the tools and all the equipment and all the software that powers Social Media Examiner. Here's how we did it. First thing we did was we put together a quick little Google survey, and we emailed it to all of our employees, and we asked a couple of basic questions. What's a tool that you use to help you do your job? How do you use the tool? And why do you love it? And we narrowed it down to 67 different tools and products that power Social Media Examiner. Then we went out and hired a freelance writer to write it in such a way that there was a consistent voice. We also had our design team build out the look and feel of the entire thing. And the final product was amazing. It was an 80-page resource guide that was broken down into different sections and include photographs and images. It was absolutely gorgeous. We were really, really excited about this resource that we had put together. In fact, we were convinced that this was going to be a massive home run. The next thing we did was we worked on a really great email campaign to activate our subscribers. We knew that we couldn't just put it out there. We needed to kind of explain to people, here is what this awesome new thing is. Here's the steps that you need to take to be able to get it. And on July 22nd, we sent that email out to our entire list. And we pitched this great resource we called the 67 Tools that Power Social Media Examiner. So the email went out, and in the email, we talked about what they needed to do to get access to this awesome exclusive resource. And we sat back and we just waited to see the results start pouring in. Nearly 65,000 people opened our email. This is the part that's not easy to say. Even though 65,000 people opened the email and the instructions were really, really clear, we only had 186 people. refer us to their friends. And at that moment, I was like crushed. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. 186 people? But being the ever optimistic person that I am, I knew, okay, well, maybe they just got this email at a bad time. So what we decided to do was go ahead and integrate it into our newsletter that goes out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday every single week. And here's what we did at the very bottom of the newsletter. We built a little grid that included their referral link and told them exactly what to do to get the free resource. And we let this run for months. And we were very, very optimistic that, well, maybe if they just missed the first email, maybe seeing it over and over and over and over again in our newsletter would motivate them to act. And here's what happened. The grand total of emails that were referred through this entire program, drum roll please, was 366, including the 186 that happened before. 366 total subscribers were referred to us. And by the way, we're really thankful that 366 people were referred through the program. But only 43 people actually referred enough people to get the free resource. If you're one of those 43 people, consider yourself to be a hero in my mind. So we ended up removing the referral program from our newsletter, and we're still actively looking for ways to grow our email. If you have ideas, let me know. That story obviously is going to continue. When you think about all the work that went into paying thousands of dollars for the software, doing the integration, pulling the entire company together to create the resources, coming up with the strategy and the plan, and then having something like this happen. These are the kind of opportunities where we learn from our mistakes. And it's my hope that you learn from my mistakes, which isn't that referral email marketing doesn't work, but instead it's that just because something works for someone else doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And the cost might be pretty substantial. And that cost might be time, it might be money, it might be opportunity costs. For us, it was a massive time suck for a lot of people inside the company at a time where we frankly could have been working on a lot of other things. What we've learned from this particular story is that we have to be a lot more careful about diving into something just because we look up to someone who has accomplished something amazing. We also realize there's absolutely no silver bullet to accomplish something as complex as growing your email list.